Drew Barrymore's interview with Meghan Markle on The Drew Barrymore Show quickly turned from a lighthearted conversation to a highly awkward moment. The interaction, broadcast in March 2025, was meant to celebrate the Duchess of Sussex's Netflix series with love, Meghan, but ended up in controversy when Drew made remarks that clearly flustered Meghan. Things took a turn when Barrymore's overly enthusiastic comments about Meghan and Prince Harry's relationship led to uncomfortable silence and tension. Not only did this leave Meghan visibly flustered, but it also sparked widespread speculation about the dynamic between the two women. Even more surprising was how the situation became even more tense off-screen, where Meghan was allegedly overheard in a heated confrontation with Drew's team after the show. Meghan reportedly expressed frustration over what she perceived as disrespect towards her staff. Was this just an awkward moment, or was there something more going on behind the scenes? Let's dive into the details and uncover what happened on set after the cameras stopped rolling. The awkward interview moment. During Meghan Markle's appearance on The Drew Barrymore Show, what seemed like a typical celebrity interview quickly took an unexpected turn. The Duchess of Sussex was there to promote her Netflix series with love, Meghan, and the conversation was meant to be lighthearted. Drew Barrymore, with her usual bubbly and warm demeanor, began discussing Meghan's relationship with Prince Harry, but it wasn't long before the mood became awkward. Barrymore, clearly excited about the couple's romance, started gushing about how everyone described Meghan and Harry as so hot for each other. The comment caught Meghan off guard, and her reaction was telling. She visibly flinched and nervously asked, "What is she about to say?" Despite her attempt to laugh it off, the tension was noticeable, and the conversation took on an uncomfortable tone. As Barrymore continued, she mentioned how Meghan and Harry often appeared affectionate in public, a remark that only added to the awkwardness. Meghan, trying to regain control of the situation, responded cautiously, acknowledging how fortunate she felt to have met Harry and how their love story had been full of surprises. She complimented him for being the funniest, kindest, most charming person, and praised his parenting abilities. But even with these heartfelt comments, it seemed that Barrymore's enthusiasm was not letting up. Meghan's efforts to steer the conversation toward more neutral territory were overshadowed by the host's overzealous excitement about their relationship. The palpable tension between the two women was an awkward moment that many viewers noticed. While Barrymore's intent was to celebrate Meghan and Harry's love, the way it was expressed only made the situation more strained. Meghan's attempts to ease the discomfort were commendable, but the warmth of the moment had already dissipated. What was intended to be a cheerful, fun conversation instead left Meghan navigating an uncomfortable spotlight, a reminder of how sometimes enthusiasm can unintentionally create an awkward moment, the Meghan Sussex moment. Drew Barrymore's decision to introduce Meghan Markle as Meghan Sussex added another layer of discomfort during the interview. While the Duke and Duchess of Sussex used Sussex as their family name, it felt somewhat forced in the context of a casual daytime talk show. Barrymore's repeated use of Sussex instead of Markle caught Meghan off guard, and though she didn't react too strongly, the moment highlighted an underlying tension. The formality of the royal title seemed out of place in a more laid-back, informal setting, making the interaction feel awkward. This slip-up also pointed to the complexities of Meghan's post-royal identity. Meghan has spoken openly about her preference for being called Markle, particularly when it comes to her professional endeavors. After stepping away from royal duties, she has made efforts to carve out her own public persona, separate from her royal connections. Barrymore's insistence on using Sussex seemed to inadvertently remind Meghan of the royal family's traditions, which she's been trying to move away from. It was a subtle but clear indication of the struggle Meghan faces in balancing her past royal identity with her current life as a public figure. Despite Meghan's composed reaction, there was an unspoken tension that lingered. It was as though the use of Sussex underscored the very identity Meghan has worked to redefine. In a conversation meant to promote her Netflix series and present her in a lighthearted way, The persistent use of her royal title felt misplaced and perhaps even somewhat dismissive of the changes she's embraced since stepping back from royal duties. The moment, while minor, served as a reminder of the ongoing challenges Meghan faces in navigating her identity post-royalty, the body language tension. Body language expert Judy James noted a noticeable shift in Meghan Markle's demeanor during her appearance on the Drew Barrymore show. Typically known for her warmth and openness, Meghan seemed unusually stiff and distant throughout the interview, which was in sharp contrast to her usual, more approachable personality. Normally, Meghan is the one who initiates physical contact, often greeting others with hugs or casual touches. However, during this particular interaction, she seemed to pull back from Drew Barrymore's enthusiastic attempts to connect. As Barrymore leaned in for hugs and made touchy-feely gestures, Meghan kept her distance, opting to keep her hands in her pockets or folded, rather than reciprocating the affection. Instead of responding to Barrymore's warmth with her own physical gestures, Meghan offered a polite, social smile, which came across as more reserved and detached. This contrast in behavior was highly noticeable, as it added to the tension that was already building between the two. The stark difference in their body language created an uncomfortable dynamic. Drew appeared to be trying to break the ice with her usual upbeat physical approach, possibly sensing some distance or coldness from Meghan. However, Meghan's lack of response seemed to indicate that she was not entirely comfortable with the level of warmth being offered. It was as if Barrymore's attempts to bridge the gap by being overly affectionate only amplified the distance between them. This tension was amplified by the fact that Meghan is generally quite adept at reading and reciprocating social cues, especially in public settings. Her reluctance to engage in the same level of physical contact or emotional openness as Barrymore only further highlighted the awkwardness of the moment. While Barrymore's gestures were likely meant to create a friendly, welcoming atmosphere, Meghan's restrained body language suggested that she was feeling uncomfortable, which deepened the sense of unease between the two. This interaction, marked by subtle but telling body language cues, underscored the growing tension that overshadowed the rest of the conversation. The behind-the-scene drama. Behind the scenes of Meghan Markle's appearance on the Drew Barrymore show, the drama reportedly continued long after the interview wrapped. According to sources close to the production, Meghan was overheard having a tense conversation with Barrymore's team following the interview. During this exchange, Meghan allegedly expressed her dissatisfaction with how her staff had been treated during the production of the show. Sources claim that Meghan was particularly upset with the way certain questions were framed, as well as the treatment her staff received during rehearsals. It appears that Meghan, known for being protective of her team, took issue with what she saw as disrespectful behavior directed toward those working behind the scenes. This led to a heated confrontation, where Meghan was reportedly heard saying, "You can't bully my staff," a statement that underscored the seriousness of her frustration. The behind-the-scenes tension raised new questions about the dynamics between Meghan and Drew Barrymore. While the on-camera interaction already hinted at some awkwardness, this off-screen drama suggested that there may have been deeper issues at play. Meghan's insistence on defending her staff highlighted her commitment to their well-being and suggested that she felt the production team had crossed a line in their treatment of her people. This confrontation was not just about a few uncomfortable moments during the interview, but seemed to indicate a broader concern Meghan had regarding the show's environment and the respect given to her team. The frustration expressed during this backstage exchange painted a different picture of the relationship between Meghan and the show's production team, leaving viewers and insiders questioning if there were underlying tensions that had not been addressed on air. Ultimately, this behind-the-scenes drama added a layer of complexity to the public interaction, revealing that the tension went beyond a simple miscommunication. Meghan's vocal defense of her staff suggested that she was not willing to overlook what she perceived as mistreatment, signaling that the issues surrounding the interview were more than just surface-level discomfort. The public fallout. Following the incident on the Drew Barrymore show, Both Drew Barrymore and Meghan Markle have stayed quiet about the behind-the-scenes confrontation. However, fans and media outlets quickly began speculating about the true nature of their relationship. Some viewers suggested that Barrymore's overly enthusiastic comments about Meghan and Harry might have stemmed from a lack of awareness about the complexities of Meghan's situation. Barrymore's exuberant remarks about the couple's romance seemed to disregard the sensitive nature of their public lives, particularly after Meghan and Harry stepped back from royal duties. It's possible that Barrymore, known for her warm and open style, didn't fully grasp the potential discomfort such comments could cause, inadvertently making Meghan feel more exposed and uncomfortable. On the other hand, some observers believe that Meghan's discomfort was not simply a result of the comments themselves, but also the broader pressures she faces as a public figure and former royal. Meghan has long been under intense scrutiny, and every public appearance comes with its own set of challenges. This may have contributed to her guarded responses during the interview, where she appeared slightly distant and less engaged than usual. The tension between the two women, combined with the behind-the-scenes altercation, suggested that Meghan was navigating more than just awkward questions. She was likely dealing with the weight of ongoing public expectations and the difficulty of balancing her new identity with her past. While Meghan remained professional throughout the interview, the altercation off-camera suggested there were unresolved issues. For Drew Barrymore, this incident may serve as a reminder of how delicate celebrity interviews can be, especially when engaging with individuals as high-profile and scrutinized as Meghan Markle. The fallout from the interaction likely caused both women to reflect on the nuances of their professional encounters, especially when dealing with complex public figures. Drew Barrymore over enthusiasm. Drew Barrymore is widely known for her bubbly, engaging personality, often going out of her way to make guests feel at ease during interviews. However, her interaction with Meghan Markle marked a shift from her usual style, with Barrymore's excessive enthusiasm potentially contributing to the awkwardness of the situation. Her over-the-top praise for Meghan and Prince Harry's relationship, while meant to be complimentary, might have felt invasive to Meghan, who is still navigating her complex relationship with both the media and her royal family ties. Barrymore's tendency to express herself with great excitement and warmth is part of her charm, but it also can lead her to overstep certain boundaries. Her habit of hugging guests or making overly enthusiastic comments about their personal lives has been noticeable in past interviews. While this style can create an atmosphere of closeness with certain guests, it can come off as too much for others, especially when the person being interviewed has a high-profile public life. In the case of Meghan, who has been under constant scrutiny and media pressure, Barrymore's approach might have felt out of sync with what Meghan was comfortable with. When dealing with someone like Meghan, whose every word and gesture is closely watched by the public, the typical warmth and casualness of Barrymore's style may not always land as intended. Meghan, who has repeatedly expressed discomfort with being overly scrutinized, may have found the overly personal remarks about her and Harry's relationship to be invasive. What might have been meant as a way to bond instead contributed to the awkwardness between the two women. Barrymore's history of pushing boundaries with her guests, while generally well received in a less publicized context, shows that her enthusiasm may not always be suited for every type of guest. When dealing with someone like Meghan Markle, whose personal life is constantly under the public microscope, Barrymore's familiar approach could have inadvertently amplified the tension rather than alleviating it. Meghan Markle's vulnerability. Despite the tension on set, Meghan Markle maintained an admirable level of poise and vulnerability throughout the interview. She spoke candidly about her relationship with Prince Harry, emphasizing their commitment to each other and the strength of their bond, even amidst the constant media scrutiny they face. Meghan's calm and composed demeanor spoke volumes about her growth as a public figure, particularly given the challenges she's encountered since stepping away from royal duties. Her ability to remain composed under pressure demonstrated both strength and emotional maturity, showing that she has learned to navigate the intense public and media attention in a way that many would find difficult. Throughout the conversation, Meghan also shared a deeply personal story about advice she had received during her youth, which shaped her perspective on relationships and how to approach them with integrity. This moment of vulnerability provided viewers with a rare glimpse into her personal life and thought processes, reminding everyone that beneath the public persona, there is a woman grappling with similar challenges and emotions that most people experience. It highlighted her willingness to be open about her own journey, making her seem more relatable and human despite the circumstances surrounding her life. However, even with her vulnerability and strength, the underlying tension was hard to ignore. While Meghan tried to steer the conversation in a more genuine and thoughtful direction, the awkwardness between her and Drew Barrymore was palpable. The disparity between Meghan's calm and collected demeanor and the discomfort in the exchange left many viewers wondering if this was merely a case of an awkward interview or if there were deeper, unspoken issues at play. Her ability to remain poised, however, stood as a testament to her resilience and strength, even when the situation was less than ideal. The impact on Drew Barrymore show. In the aftermath of the interview, speculation swirled about the potential impact of the awkward moments on the Drew Barrymore show. Questions about whether the interview would affect the show's ratings or change the public perception of Barrymore's relationship with her guest quickly emerged. Would this uncomfortable exchange leave a lasting stain on the show's reputation, or would it simply be seen as a misstep in an otherwise successful run? Time will ultimately reveal the long-term consequences, but one thing is certain. This interview will be remembered for the awkwardness that unfolded on camera and the drama that occurred behind the scenes. Drew Barrymore has long been known for her ability to make guests feel at ease, cultivating an atmosphere of warmth and approachability on her show. Her natural ability to connect with guests has been one of the cornerstones of the show's success. However, this interview with Meghan Markle revealed that even the most well-intentioned hosts can sometimes misread a situation or push too far when attempting to forge a connection, particularly with high-profile guests like Meghan. Barrymore's over-enthusiastic comments, her physical gestures, and her focus on Meghan's personal life inadvertently led to discomfort, which was reflected in Meghan's body language and restrained responses. The aftermath of the interview may prompt changes in how future celebrity guests are approached on the show. For one, the interview may lead to a more cautious approach to questioning, with hosts being more attuned to the sensitivities of their guests. In Meghan's case, the focus on her personal life and relationship with Prince Harry might have been better handled with a more nuanced and respectful approach. Additionally, Barrymore's physical approach to interacting with her guests, including hugs and overt displays of affection, may be reconsidered, especially when dealing with guests who are already under the public microscope. For the Drew Barrymore show, the aftermath may spark a rethinking of how to balance familiarity and respect. While Drew's warmth is often an asset, this interview serves as a reminder that even well-intentioned enthusiasm can sometimes backfire. The show's producers and hosts may take this as a learning opportunity to adjust their approach to celebrity interviews, ensuring that they are more mindful of their guests' comfort levels in the future. The incident might not derail the show entirely, but it certainly left an imprint that will influence how future interviews are conducted. As we've seen, the aftermath of this uncomfortable exchange between Drew Barrymore and Meghan Markle has ignited a lot of discussion about the nature of celebrity interviews and the fine line between enthusiasm and overstepping boundaries. While Drew Barrymore's genuine warmth and enthusiasm have made her a beloved host, this situation highlights how important it is to remain sensitive to the unique circumstances of each guest, especially someone as high-profile as Meghan Markle. The potential shift in how future interviews are conducted on the Drew Barrymore show could lead to a more thoughtful and respectful approach moving forward. This incident has certainly left a lasting impression on viewers, and it'll be interesting to see how Drew and her team adapt in the future. But what do you think? Was this just an awkward moment, or is there more to the tension behind the scenes? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to stay updated on all the latest news and drama from the world of celebrity interviews.